studio, scoring.
Scoring?
Yeah.
What kind of scoring?
Well, I like the Trigger soundtrack.
Okay. Welcome to Rock and Talk at Pentagram Studios. Today our guest is Bernard Maiezza. Welcome to the show, Bernard.
Thank you very much, Fiza.
You're very welcome, Bernard. Why don't we tell our viewing audience about your work at Highfield Studios? Describe the studios and what you do over there.
Well, I've been there for about 5 years. It's in my home, the East End of Toronto. I record bands there, and I produce my own music and do a lot of film and television and cartoons and commercial work.
And who are some of the bands that we might know of that have recorded there? I know you mentioned Ian and Come On.
Well, yeah, Ian works there as well, so he brings in a lot of the bands and he produces them. Recently he's done Bella Clava, Littlefoot, Longfoot, Mercy Now. Did those in the last few months. I'm doing William New's new band in a couple weeks. Got that on the schedule coming up. And I do a bunch of other stuff too. I produced this musical. It was a 2-disc musical last year. That was a big chunk of last year for someone I met, and that was quite an adventure.
And recently you produced the soundtrack for the Catwalk Runway show for Until 6 Mondays, thecouchystore.com. How did that go?
That went really well. That was quite interesting. That was fun. It was something different to do, for sure.
And you got to walk the catwalk.
Yeah, at the
end.
Which
is pretty cool. Yeah, and you also did the score for the film preceding the show that Janelle produced.
Yeah, there was just one piece in it. Yeah, I did.
It sounded very groovy.
Yeah, it was good. The film turned out really well.
Yeah. And also in your studio you have a project called Heavy Friends.
Heavy Friends, yeah.
Tell us about Heavy Friends.
I started that a few years ago. It was just kind of an excuse to get together with friends and record cover versions. It was always in original bands. Like I never was ever in a cover band or a band that played a lot of covers, so it was kind of a new thing for me to do. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm working halfway through the third installment now. And people involved would be like Ian, who plays on a lot of it, and my main collaborator that we do it together is Neil Exall from the Mercury Men. And recently we've done some stuff with Kevin Kane from Grapes of Wrath.
What about Kung Fu Conscious? That's something.
That's my website that I put up recently. Just kind of I've had all this music building up, and you know, it's kind of, so I just put up a site, basically the showcase it and put songs on, post songs and high quality WAV files as opposed to MP3 files.
Right. And we were discussing that earlier, and what do you feel about the transition, well, first, you know, from vinyl to CD, and now all the new generation of kids are pretty much exclusive, some of them, to MP3s.
Yeah,
that's kind of sad. How do you feel about this situation?
It's kind of sad because they really are, you know, a lesser quality format, especially even than, you know, CD. And let's not even talk about comparing it to vinyl. You know, it's like, and the fact that kids are growing up and that's what they know and that's all they know is it's so ass backwards.
There's a resurgence of interest in collecting vinyl LPs.
Yeah, like you can get everything on vinyl now.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty affordable. Even colored vinyl, picture discs, and things like that. They're making a big comeback. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you see the day when it would actually make a full circle comeback and MP3s would be no longer interesting to people?
Unfortunately, no. I think MP3, like I look for, you know, there'll be another format that comes along, hopefully, to replace MP3 that will be a bit better quality, but the vinyl thing, I think it will always kind of be for collectors and for connoisseurs and for people that want something different. So but luckily there's enough of those people, though, to sustain the market, it seems, right now. Yeah,
it makes sense, and a new invention would be better than going backwards. Now, you have a very illustrious history in music. You're an audiophile, a music lover. We personally didn't really meet each other, but we were together in the same circle since the age of 13, 14, starting off in punk rock. Let's talk about the music business when we were growing up as to how it is now compared to now. the state of the music business, as you know yourself from being involved in it in the studio sense and production and distribution and things, everything's completely different, and bands are getting their income in a whole different way. The days of big advances from record companies and so forth, everything's so different. Tell me how you feel about the evolution and the changes and the transient phase that we're in now in the record industry.
Well, I've seen quite a few changes. I put out my first record in '85 with Neon Rome, which we recorded in '85, came out in '86, I believe. And back then there was like, you know, you didn't even think about the music business, you know. I mean, bands like us just weren't involved in the music business, especially in Canada. So it seems it wasn't really anything we thought about so much. And then in the '90s it really exploded, like after Nirvana especially, like everything exploded and every band was getting signed onto and getting an advance. It seemed for a while there. Those were like the boom years, from like the '93 to like '97, especially in Canada. It was a really good time to be in a band in Canada during that time. And then the whole download phenomenon just kind of killed the music industry, because they didn't really see it coming and how it would affect them. It was very sort of short-sighted and narrow-minded on the music industry not to adopt to it sooner. But you know, now like it was also like the last few years it's been just like the Wild West as far as downloading goes, right? But now that's really being clamped on by cable companies and one such, like how much you can actually download.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And it's all being it all seems to be like it's going to be sorted out in the next few years. Hopefully the music industry will rebound.
How do you feel about who's suffering more in this time of change and who's benefiting? And where's the shift in the profits and the balance of everything?
It seems like, yeah, like right now it seems like, you know, most bands are making their money like either touring or licensing songs for like TV or, you know, either movies, commercials, whatnot, and that's really become the norm these days. It was kind of looked down upon 15 years ago, but I don't think you can be a band and really sustain yourself without doing that.
So anymore. If you're a young band today and you're starting out and you want to make it in the business or just succeed and get your music out there and maybe try to make some money because that's what makes the world go round, how is it different from a band in the past when they would just aspire to get signed by a record company? How are they going to make their money now?
Well, that really hasn't changed. It's always been touring. I mean, no one ever really made money from records companies. You know, even if you sell a lot of records, good luck at seeing the money at the end.
You get screwed even if you sign a contract in front of Buckingham Palace.
So yeah, I think that's always remained kind of a pipe dream.
Yeah. So
it's mostly touring, and you know, from what I haven't really toured in the last few years, but from what I hear, like it's quite good out there for a lot of people these days as far as touring goes.
And the economy is different right now, but hopefully it's in a period of improvement so that the wealth can be distributed a little bit, you know, happily on luxuries.
Yeah.
Like buying stuff and going to see bands.
Yeah.
And just funding tours and.
Yeah, you'd like to think.
Yeah, I'd like to think. I think so. So Bernard, just recently I saw you at a very fabulous function. It was the book release party for Don Pyle's book, Trouble in the Camera Club, and there was an assortment of people that we know from the punk scene and flashbacks to that time that we were a part of. How did you feel when all these names were, you know, spoken of and they were dead? It's sort of like an obituary for a generation.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, they strike you. It strikes you more when you think that they're gone, but I mean, think of how many are still around. I mean, there's the larger numbers of those people are still around and still being creative and still doing what they do, and that's, I think, what you have to look to, and the positivity of that.
It was a fun night. It was a brawl too. Very punk rock.
Yeah. That it was.
Bernard, any Any thoughts on the, you know, in general in the music industry? Any things that you might want to mention?
Just not really particular. It's really I have a wait and see attitude about the music industry right now.
People are doing a lot of do-it-yourself and recording in
yeah,
home
that's it
now.
exactly.
That's one good thing.
It's kind of like when we were young and we were punk rockers. We wanted to destroy the record industry. Well, we got our dream come true. But now everyone's kind of looking at each other going, now what?
We have to blow it up and rebuild it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, that's what I see happening.
Awesome. Any good shows that you've seen lately? Anything of interest? Any new bands that you like? What are you listening to? Anything you're excited about?
I don't listen to a lot of new music, to be honest.
You're busy creating it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I like my vinyl collection.
That's awesome. Wow. I'll show you mine.
Yeah.
Well, Bernard, thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you so much.
Again, your website for the people that want
Kung Fu Consciousness. KungFuConsciousRecordings.com.
Awesome. And if you'd like to see further episodes of the show, please tune into pentagram666.com.
Yes.
Thank you for watching and have a pleasant day, Bernard.
Thank you.
So, that's about it.
That was a little mumbly.
Not at all. It's a stream of consciousness.
Yeah. But you'll edit together, right?
No, I don't edit.
No, no?
No.